So you're wondering if candle making is still profitable, or you're wondering if you should get in candle making or if you should continue making candles. As a person who's been making candles for 5, almost 6 years now, I think I have a little bit of feedback on that can help you. So in this video, I'm going to get straight to it. I got 3 points and a bonus that will help you decide if candle making is worth it for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. What's going on, guys? My name is Ahmad. This is As I Am Candle Co. I'm a content creator, candle maker, all that. I've made candles now about 5, 6 years. And so this video is made for people who are interested in candle making, who already make candles, or who wants to know if candle making is still profitable. So the first thing I would say, considering candle maker, is understanding that it's a low barrier to entry. So with it being a low barrier to entry, that means that it can be um, oversaturated. It can be a lot of people that are in the market as well. But don't look at that as a negative. Look at that as, okay, if there are people that are in the market, that means that you can get in the market. Now, the truth about it being oversaturated and being a lower barrier to entry, is that a bad thing? I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but it can make it tougher for you as a candle maker. But one thing that I have learned consistently as a candle maker is that people like who they like. So if a person is a candle maker, it doesn't mean that if a person orders candles, it doesn't just mean that they just order from one person. They order from whoever they like candles from. So if you are a candle maker, that doesn't mean that because the person next door is a candle maker or the person down the street is a candle maker, that it stops you from making candles, because your customers really could be the same people. Sometimes, yes, price, well, I don't want to go to this person because, their price is too expensive. But sometimes it's just like, well, this person offers this scent and this person offers this, or this person offers this experience and this person offers that experience. So it doesn't necessarily mean that just because there are more candle makers that you cannot make money, or that you cannot be a candle maker yourself. You just have to find, I guess, a unique way to kind of show your candle making skills. Like I've seen before on social media, where I've seen people make it, they make it really glittery, or I seen one time, this is years ago, I think on TikTok, girl went viral because she made her candles into purses. So it's just finding a unique way to stand out. But yes, there are a lot of candle makers. But even when I do pop ups and events, and there are other candle makers there, sometimes I support their stuff. Sometimes they support my stuff. But it doesn't stop the customer from buying, because if the customer likes what I have and the customer likes what they have, they oftentimes they buy both. You know what I mean? They oftentimes buy both, or they buy what fits them. So you have to think about that. Another thing with candle making I would think about is the flexibility of it. So with candle making, unless you're at a standalone store, you're flexible to make candles as you want. This is one of those businesses that if it was made at your house or anything like that, people don't feel funny or iffy about it. I make a lot of my candles here at home, so it doesn't really matter. You get a studio space when you have enough space, but it offers flexibility. This is not something that you have to do full time if you don't want to do full time. If you're trying to scale it and build your business, yes, you'll have to spend more time in it, I think, but this is not a full time type of thing, because really all you're doing is you're making the candles and then you're finding a way to sell them. If it takes you, if you have a lot of candles that you have to make, that takes you more time. But if you're just starting, you're not going to have as many candles to make. So you don't have to make as many candles, which means you don't have to spend as much time making candles. So it does offer you flexibility. One thing I would say is that you do have to be able to kind of market yourself, and you do have to be able to let people know that you make candles. But honestly, I believe because there are so many people that love candles, it's not really that hard as long as your stuff is good. You say, hey man, I make candles, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people love candles. A lot of people love to buy candles. They love to have candles. They love wax melts and all these things. So I don't think it makes it difficult for you to be able to get people who like candles. I think that's good thing about this market. So the third thing I would look at understanding is I would kind of start it off more as a side hustle than a business. Unless you're gonna come out the gate trying to scale everything and sell all these different options and you have a real plan, I would start off more as a side hustle. The reason why is because trying to go into full scale candle business mode can be kind of tough. Like I say before in my videos, it don't work unless you work it. So with candles, you kind of have to work it. But if you're the type of person like, hey, nah, I just want to do pop ups on the weekends, or I just want to do events, or I just want to, do my Etsy shop or sell here and there. Yes, you can do that, but I think sometimes because it is so many people and because it can be oversaturated, you have to make yourself kind of stand out as a candle maker. For me, my first candle customers with people around me that, you know, support me, people that I work with, family, friends, and still to this day, it's like that as well. And in order for me to get new customers, I have to be able to put it out on social media. I have to be able to go to different events so people can understand, because this is not like one of those businesses where, you know, it kind of promotes itself. I mean, it does to a certain extent, but it's not like one of those businesses where it's like, oh, I never seen this before, I want this. It's like a lot of people do candles, so you have to be able to show people why are your candles unique, what separates you from other candle makers. You know, so I would start it off more as a side hustle than trying to go full into business with candle making, even though you're going into business candle making. But I would probably start with that. Maybe start with like a couple items that you think you could do, this size candles, and then if you want to get into wax melts and all these other things, you can do that as well. So that's my thoughts. And here's the bonus. So the bonus is simply, this is for you to consider. You know, I do think candle making can be a wonderful thing if that's something you want to do. It can offer the flexibility, the creativity. There is a low barrier to entry, and you know you can't make it a side hustle because it's flexible. You know, but if you, one thing I want you to think about is, are you a person who is going to market yourself? Are you a person who's willing to let people know that you're a candle maker? Are you a person that's willing to like go to the different events and pop-ups and stuff like that to kind of get your exposure and get your brand out there? If you're not one of those people and you're not willing to kind of put that time in, then it's kind of going to be hard for you to grow. And I think that's something you have to consider as a candle maker. You know, I think we all kind of start at that base of, unless you got a big social media following or something like that, I think we all kind of start at that base of trying to get people to know who we are. And that means going to the event. Sometimes you're going to the same event every month, you know, multiple times a month, which can be draining if you work a full time job and different things like that. And that's why I say it's okay to start as a side hustle. So these are some things to consider if you want to do candle making. Is candle making still profitable? Is candle making still a good business to get to right now? I absolutely think so. I love candle making. I've been doing it, like I said, now 5-6 years. It's just understanding, you know, this is not something that you'll probably get rich overnight. This is probably taking some time. But the more events you go to, the more you build your name out there, the quicker that you can build your business or your side hustle or whatever it is. And I think that's the exciting part. It's one of those things where it's like you can see the return time and time again. It's not like, oh, will I make money or will I not make money? You'll learn what events to go to. And as you go to those events more and more, people know your face more and more, and they'll buy from you more and more. And that just gives you brand recognition and stuff like that. So I hope this video is helpful. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. And to the next time, peace.